EX, VMon, Stingmon, DNA Digivolve. This is embarrassing. You caught me at a vulnerable moment. Back on the shelves, boys. Yes, I am a Digimon Adventure 02 fan, so naturally I love DNA Digivolution, Jogress Evolution, whatever you prefer to call it, and sometimes Fusion Evolution. What's up, Omnimon? But it's my personal opinion, there are tons of Digimon pairings, friends, rivals, who are missing DNA Digivolutions. And so on today's video, with some wonderful artists, let's fix that. But paying artists fairly does cost money, and that's why today's video is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot is the live streaming and shopping platform focused on TCG, toys, and beyond, and I am one of their official sellers. I live stream on Whatnot opening the newest and some of the oldest Digimon card game booster boxes. And when I hit big pulls, I like to auction them starting at £1, which is made even sweeter because when you sign up with my invite link, Whatnot will give you £10 GBP if you're in the UK, or $15 USD if you're in the US, which if you're in the UK, you can use that credit to buy stuff from me. If you're in the US, you can use it to buy it from a US seller. And whether you buy stuff from me or buy stuff from someone else on Whatnot, it all supports the channel. So you could use that £10 credit to bid on some cards that I'm selling. But if you just want to hang out, watch me open Digimon cards, I also do regular giveaways like my 1,000 follower giveaway, which just happened, where I gave away 2 Vital Bracelet BEs, 4 lots of Dim cards, 2 copies of Digimon Survive on Switch, 2 on PS4, and a copy of Digimon World Next Order on Switch. And next month in September, I'm going to be announcing my 1,500 follower and 2,000 follower giveaways, which are going to be very juicy, so do make sure you check me out on Whatnot. Download the app, follow me, get your free credit, and we're going to have a ton of fun on Whatnot. So thank you to Whatnot for sponsoring this video. Let's get to custom art. And our first DNA Digivolution pairing for this video are Mummymon and Arukenimon, who All Trade came aboard to design Circmon. All Trade actually designed Circmon many moons ago, just for funsies that he sent to me, but now has refined it into this beautiful Digimon. Circmon is based on the Egyptian goddess Serket, the goddess of healing venomous stings and bites in Egyptian mythology, and originally the deification of the scorpion. Kinda makes sense to us that the spider lady, an arachnid, and a mummy DNA digivolving would become a scorpion. Scorpions are also arachnids, the Scorpion King, you know, it's all there. All Trade was inspired by the 02 finale and the World of Dreams, picturing perhaps the 02 kids sympathizing with Mummymon and Arukenimon after their horrendous destruction at the hands of Malomyotismon, with that empathy, sympathy, and love reaching out and creating Circmon in the dream dimension, which is why the crest of love is on her scorpion brooch. Circmon is a strange Jogress, the two halves of Arukenimon and Mummymon not quite conjoined, meaning that sometimes the more Arukenimon head takes umbrage with the silly things that the scorpion Mummymon body says. However, this is a absolutely terrifying and powerful Digimon. With the machine gun on its stinger and its incredibly strong upper body, this Digimon will ensnare its prey and bury them beneath the sand, with its signature move, the Grand Entombment. Then next up is a pairing that I've always personally wanted to see DNA Digivolve, and HLR stepped in to DNA Digivolve Rapidmon and Antylamon. Rapidmon and Antylamon feel the closest to me in the Lopmon Terriermon evolution family. Gargomon and Terumon feeling like very much opposite, same with Mega Gargomon and the 2 Cherubimons, but Rapidmon and Antylamon feel like the optimum point for these two to DNA Digivolve, which is what led to the creation of Taumon, getting its name from Tau, the Greek letter used as a symbol of life and resurrection. It could also be pronounced Tor, so it could be Tormon, just to differentiate it from the very similar Taumon that already exists. So this is a cyber angel, folding in elements of Rapidmon and Antylamon underneath, but also even Golden Rapidmon with the golden elements and the Crest of Destiny, evoking feelings you might get from angels such as Metatron, which is where the connection to Devas and indeed Sovereigns on the Antylamon side comes in. I love that HLR went with a much more sleek design here, because the very bulky Mega Gargomon is what a lot of people dislike about the Terriermon evolution line, hoping that Rapidmon could become something more rapid, which is why I've always personally really liked Rapidmon becoming Fujinmon, for example. This creepy angelic angelic robot is so different, setting it apart, which I think is very much something that 02 and even Tamers would do. But also it does hint at the mega levels, Mega Gargomon and Cherubimon Virtue, because Taumon has a dark half, Thetamon. Theta is the symbol of death and also the unknown variable in trigonometry. A dark, evil, fallen angel with blades for wings. That connection to the dark side of Lopmon coming through here. And all together harking back to Cherubimon as a member of the three great angels. Plus, you know, Taumon, Thetamon, that means we get more Alphabetmon in our unofficial Greek alphabet group that includes Betamon, Alphamon, Omegamon. We'll get to those in a minute. But yes, great work by HLR, something so different but also familiar. I love it. And HLR wasn't done there, because there is another pair that I think are long overdue a DNA Digivolution. It just makes sense that BeelStarmon and Beelzemon should DNA Digivolve. The two counterpart gunslingers are finally united into the Ultra Digimon Beelmon, drawn by HLR. Yes, Beelmon is literally double Beelmon, but as well as literally just meaning double, the term double crops up in BeelStarmon and Beelzemon too, as Beelzemon has an attack called Double Impact, and BeelStarmon has an attack called Double Claw. So the two coming together who both have double attacks becoming a Beelmon just makes sense. This is a gunslinger with glowing rifles surrounding it, making it totally intimidating, which cements it really as also feeling like an ultra level for the Three Musketeers group of BeelStarmon, Magnakidmon, and Gundramon. So it very much could also be used in side media, video games, etc. as perhaps a BeelStarmon and Magnakidmon Jogress too, but it's definitely for BeelStarmon and Beelzemon in this instance, with its wings connecting it to Beelzemon Blast Mode, but also the X antibodies of Beelzemon and BeelStarmon. I'm quite fond of this idea that mutation, Jogress, special Digivolution are somehow all connected. So things that you see happen when a Digimon reacts to the X antibody could also be seen in Death Digivolution, or Jogress, or Armor. I like keeping some of those connections in a Digimon's potential upgrade in power. An outlaw and protector, Beelmon is a Robin Hood of the digital world that you don't want to get on the wrong side of, because if you do, you may be subject to Beelmon's double demon barrage. Then next up are two rivals who wreck the mic. Psych. Yes, Etemon and Volcamon, who become a burning techno DJ ready to plug in and rock out, that I have dubbed Nabemon, drawn by SomeGuy944. And some details that I love that SomeGuy944 included here are the armor of Volcamon being present with that camo pattern down below, but still a very Etemon feel, with the fire erupting, the kind of engine parts on the helmet, but still that cheeky Etemon face. Regular Etemon has a Monzemon doll around his waist, so it makes so much sense that SomeGuy944 would include a Shin Monzemon doll, the new recently revealed evolution of Monzemon, around Nabemon's waist. The reason I chose the name Nabemon is twofold. First is that Nabe is Japanese for a hot pot or melting pot, and given this is a burning, literal melding of two Digimon, I just felt a melting pot was appropriate. But also Volcamon and Etemon are Digimon who reference real-world Digimon creative or promotion team people, Volcamon being based on Volcano Ota, a planning director and voice actor who is instrumental in the Digimon franchise, and Etemon being based on Digimonkey, a promotional character for Digimon seen in V-Jump as well as other places. So to continue that legacy of homaging real-world people, Nabemon's name also comes from Kenji Watanabe, one of the basically fathers of Digimon, and a Digimon artist to this very day, responsible for some of the most iconic and recognizable art in the Digimon franchise. And while not super intentional in SomeGuy944's art, Mr. Watanabe is often seen sporting a hat and glasses, so the helmet and sunglasses of Nabemon are not a million miles away from that. Nabemon gets excited very easily and often carried away, which is why sometimes friends and foes can be on the receiving end of his superstar DJ destruction. Speaking of rivals, another huge rivalry in Digimon is that of Leomon and Ogremon, the two frenemies duking it out in different iterations across the franchise, but when they set their differences aside and unite, they become Herculeomon, drawn by Dry Designs. Herculeomon is based on the Hercules and the Labors myth, as well as folding in some elements of Onis from the Ogremon side and Chinese lions. Hercules himself is often represented with a bow and arrow instead of a club, so Dry thought since Ogremon already had a club, it would be cool to change things up a bit and turn that bone club into a bone arrow? Bow and arrow. Good. Leomon and Ogremon are two of the strongest Digimon and eternal rivals, so Dry I thought when they combined, their power would become immeasurable. While this is a DNA Digivolution of 2 champions, this Digimon is probably an ultimate, but with the power level of a Mega or even beyond. Herculeomon is constantly looking for strong Digimon to defeat, to the point where it has challenged the Olympos 12 for a chance to join their pantheon. The deity Digimon, however, will only accept the challenge once Herculeomon completes 12 laborious tasks, one from each member of the Olympos 12, and its final labor is to defeat Titamon, which it will attempt with its bone bow that fires arrows composed of the same energy as Leomon's signature attack, a devastating barrage known as the Supreme Beast King's Strike. Next up, one that I've wanted to see for probably 20 years, Golden Rapidmon and Magnamon, 2 shining Golden Armor Digivolutions, but I've always wondered if they could go one step beyond, and as they were the 2 signature Golden Armor Digivolutions of Digimon the Movie, or Hurricane Touchdown specifically, I've always wondered if they could kind of unite and go one step beyond to an even greater, more powerful form, which is what led Soru to creating Oremon. Some absolutely wonderful details here. First of all, the wings and kind of head pieces are a mix of blue and green, Vmon and Terriermon. It also has samurai armor, connecting back to Japan, but also kind of the Americanization of samurai movies, and in that alluding to Omnimon, and indeed even Omnimon Merciful Mode had a katana. So Oremon is not an Omnimon, but is connected or draws from a similar power, in the same way that Omni Shoutmon, or indeed Imperialdramon Paladin Mode do. I love that Soru included both sets of eyes of Magnamon and Rapidmon peeking out. It's rare that a DNA Digivolution will have 4 eyes, but it just works, I think. It's kind of creepy, but also feels very powerful. I like it. I'm also so impressed with the way that Soru mixed the Miracles and Destiny crests in a very similar way to how Omnimon has a mix of courage and friendship. Great detail. Soru kind of jokingly gave it the file name Orumon, which is unfortunately a common official misspelling of Owlmon, but I love the idea of Oremon. And I thought it was inspired on Soru's part because AU is the chemical symbol for gold, and this is a meeting of 2 Golden Armor Digimon. But in addition to AU being gold, RA is the chemical symbol for radium, which kind of matches the color of Oremon's wings and helmet's power, as well as adding an indication of danger to this powerful armor Digimon with the power of an ultra level Digimon, because yeah, you don't really want to mess around with radium too much. But a golden radiating Digimon of intense power, striking out with its axe and cannon. Oremon will bring peace to the battlefield with its golden assault signature move. And yes, finally, that brings us to the end. The beginning has come to the end. The Alpha and the Omega. The superior Alphabetmon unite at last, putting their differences aside to become one of the most powerful Digimon in the history of the digital world, Fathermon, drawn by Weirdomon. I did consider using another Greek letter here, as we've had so many Alphabetmon on this video already. I like the idea of Mumon, as Mu is the 12th letter of the Greek alphabet, literally meeting in the middle of Alpha and Omega, but Mu tends to refer to things being micro and small, which didn't feel appropriate for this Digimon. I wanted something that really indicated this Digimon was quite literally the Alpha and the Omega, a Digimon god. And unfortunately, there is already an Appmon called Deusmon, which is a shame because that is 100% the name I would choose for this guy. Deusmon would be so appropriate. So he could just also be Deusmon, ignoring the Appmon. Hell, there's a Raidramon Appmon and a kind of Raidramon Lydramon Digimon, as well as a few other Appmon that have the same name as Digimon, so we could do the inverse. But I'm happy with Fathermon. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The father of the digital world, and if not literally Digimon's god, perhaps working alongside them. An incredibly strong Digimon. I love the way that Weirdomon took the whites and the blacks of Omnimon and Alphamon and created this black, white, and grey melding. The cape being a mix of the two works fantastically. I love that he's literally holding the X antibody, still keeping that relevant to the design. But also, it is containing powerful auras that erupt from this Digimon when it enacts divine judgment. And indeed, Alphamon Oryuken is part of this fusion, with Oryumon, Garurumon, and Greymon energy being a raging blast of purifying fire, ice, and draconic energy, unleashed upon all those judged full of sin by Fathermon in its divine zero judgment. And that is it. DNA Digivolutions that I think we are dearly missing from Digimon, but of course consider this a part part 1. This is not an exhaustive list of DNA Digivolutions that I think we're missing, so we are definitely going to do a part 2, and let me know in the comments down below other DNA Digivolutions you'd love to see, but these ones on screen right now are just so absolutely amazing. Please make sure you go follow all their artists. Links are in the description down below. And thank you to you for watching. Thank you to our sponsor of today's video, Whatnot. Please do make sure you go sign up with my invite link in the description down below. Whatnot is a hugely supportive sponsor of this channel, really helps the channel out, lets more custom art happen, and we're trying to get specifically as many first-time buyers as possible on Whatnot at the moment, so your help would be hugely appreciated with that Whatnot credit. Huge shout out to my sovereigns, ZDK14 and Jmon, as well as all my Digi-Destined, Tamers, Karn Club, and beyond. You guys are the lifeblood of this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.